Hey, can you pause that for a moment, for a couple minutes? Just please. I'm starting a live stream, and TV and stuff is copyrighted material. I can't broadcast any part of it, not even audio. So just wait. When I go outside, you can turn it back on. But can you turn it down a little bit too when you turn it back on, please? I don't know if this will work. Hello to whoever joined the live stream. William, how you doing? Well, you're the first one here, so can you hear me? I know there's a delay between StreamYard and you making comments. I think it's about 30 seconds or so, I'm not sure. Miles, what's up? I'm good, thank you, William. Well, as the title of my live stream says, work sent me home. So, for any of you that do not know, well, you probably all do know, I work in a hospital as a CST, and hospitals are taken very seriously. Anything about the, how do I say it, human malware, if you want to. I don't know. I don't know if I'm still, YouTube being crazy about, calling it by its actual name. Anyway, I had a round of diarrhea last night, and the hospital says, nope, you can't come in, you can't work, go home. And so when I went in this morning, they checked my temperature and everything. They asked if what kind of symptoms I was having. I told them that, and they said, well, nope, sorry, can't go in. And so I had to call my manager there and let him know, and I called the house supervisor. They're the ones that, I talked to, and they said, well, at this point, we're not allowing you to work for 48 hours until your symptoms clear up. So I'm home for the day on a Friday. Oh, darn. But that also means that, missing a day of work and having bills, hashtag death loss. Miles, I'm going to have to get your address. You know that, right? So that way I can send you some death sauce and find out if you like it. So, yeah, I'm home on Friday. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, got ready, took a shower, drove 40 miles one way, going to work, and find out I couldn't work. I had to turn around and come back home. So yeah, I got up, got out of bed, took a shower, got all ready, and drove 80 miles today just so I could sit at home and play video games or do a live stream or whatever else. Fun times, I guess. So I get an extended weekend this week, and so what is everybody else doing on this fine Friday morning? Oh, the other thing, while I wait for comments to come through, is this is a new phone that I'm streaming on, and I was having problems with my other phone, so I did upgrade. Oh yeah, the peppers do come out your backside. Waiting for fish, William. Are you out fishing, or are you waiting for new fish for your a fish tank? And what kind of fish? If you've got fish for your fish tank, what kind of fish are you getting? As I emailed Jess at Maine's. I always mix the wording around. I'm sorry. Maine's tails, fins, and fur, and I'm ordering some fish from her. So I just sent an email and waiting for a reply back. I'm not sure how the weather is going to affect shipping, so it might be a little while. Flower horns, ooh! I tell you what, the local fish store in the town where I work has a beautiful flower horn there, but unfortunately, I don't have a tank that I can put it in because a 60-gallon tank is my biggest tank, and I think that's too small. And I don't think the inhabitants would get along very well. So there's that two things. How many flower horns did you order? Waiting for more people to show up. I got some other things that I want to talk about, but I'd like to talk about it with more people here. I might just put out a separate video on why I have not been putting out as many videos in the past month as I started to. Two. That'd be awesome. Now, how big of a tank? I've never kept flower horns, and I really don't know much about them. How big of a tank should you keep them in? Because I know they get pretty big. And how big of a tank are you going to be putting them in to start with, or is it their final tank? you're just going to let them grow into it or whatever. I don't have an option really to put more tanks in the apartment where, me and my family live in. It's kind of limited space. So when we get a house, that will change. I would like to eventually, get some really nice fish tank stands and some fish tanks. And also probably an area where I might put up a rack of maybe like 20 gallons or something like that for grow-in tanks or growing plants. My local fish store wants to buy plants off me. So one of my goals is to be able to start growing out plants and selling them. And they're interested in possibly buying some fish because my mollies, well, they're my wife's. They're breeding. And so we've got some babies growing, and we're going to find out which ones survive. So I'm just kind of curious, flower horns. Like I said, I'm just curious of what size of tank that you're going to be putting them in, and how fast do they grow? Miles, you said you work at a pet store, fish store. I'm just kind of curious. If you can, he said he can hardly hear me, so I don't know if he can answer that question. And I can't type anything in on the phone. Now, just in case something happens, I do have my computer also logged into this live stream. It does not show up as one of the active viewers because they're both under the StreamYard login. So if something happens, I will go to my computer and bring up that stream or that feed on this stream, just to let you know. But I think this phone should do pretty good broadcasting with battery life and everything. And it is chilly today. I think it's in the low 40s, high 30s right now. So that's one of the things I'm wondering about how Jess is going to ship the fish. It being so cold here. I don't know how cold it is where she's at. I'm not sure what state that she's in either. You ordered a bonsai, a really short body. Not sure how big they'll get. Between 40 and 75 would be good. That's interesting to know. I find it interesting looking at the short body, but I like long body fish for some reason. And I think that's why I was attracted to the common comet goldfish, like I have. If you've watched like my 60-gallon tank, that you'll see my goldfish in there. I just like the look of the long body. Now, I got some exceptions to that. I still need to do a video on the most recent inhabitant of my 60-gallon tank, which is a black marble angelfish. And it's been in the 60-gallon tank. I've had it for, about a month now. And it's growing. It's doing just fine. It's doing great, in fact. It's not bullying the other fish. I think Pig is so big. Pig is the biggest goldfish that I have that's all white. Oh, you have some regular flower horn as well. That's cool. So you'll get a nice mix. So that'll look nice. But yeah, the angelfish isn't being bullied, and neither are the goldfish. So uh, so this is my first angelfish I've ever had, and I've always wanted an angelfish. And when I saw this black marble angelfish, oh, I just couldn't help it. I ended up buying it. Really pretty, in my opinion. And I keep checking that angelfish every day or every other day to see if its fins have been nipped at or anything like that. But it is so quick. That angelfish is lightning fast. Very few fish I've ever seen was as fast as that angelfish that I'm keeping. So I know it can hold its own in that tank, and hopefully it doesn't eventually start being the most aggressive fish in that tank. Right now, it's there for a while. That pig, my goldfish, was an aggressive fish towards it, and they say goldfish aren't aggressive. Well, when they get bigger, they can get aggressive. And Pig tried to uh, nip the angelfish, and as soon as Pig tried, that angelfish was gone. And so, and that was probably the first 2 to 3 weeks, and now um, that really doesn't happen anymore. But the angelfish still kind of keeps an eye on the biggest goldfish. Now the other goldfish and the angelfish, they get along fine. They'll side by side, whatever. They don't do anything to each other. So I think Pig might be the most dominant in there, but I do have a Chinese algae eater, one or two, that every once in a while does not like Pig and will actually chase Pig for a little bit, couple inches. Pig will get out of there, and then the Chinese algae eater will be like, "Okay, I made my point," and I'll just go back down to the bottom. That's funny. Because the Chinese algae eater is only about 3 inches long, and it's going after a goldfish that's 7 inches long. But I still have one of the goals I'd like to do is get like a 2 to 300 gallon fish tank, and not to put monster fish in, but I'd like to put a whole school of something in there, or maybe a couple schools of different fish, or make an angelfish tank, with lots of angelfish. I see a lot of monster fish and everything, and I love looking at them. But one of the things that I don't want to be able to be so limited that I can only have a couple big fish in a giant tank. I want to have a lot of fish in it, and I want it to be a planted tank, and that means no goldfish. My goldfish has become even more aggressive towards plants, and my 60-gallon tank, plants are not surviving. But at the same time, I can take all the extra duckweed and all the extra frog bits that is growing in my other tanks, and I dump it in there, and the goldfish eat them, and it's extra food. And I don't have to worry about snails because that's one of Pig's favorite foods is snails. Um, I keep saying he sometimes, and I apologize. It's a female. Will actually hunt snails. And if she finds a snail, she will search that tank high and low for more. And I am actually breeding some snails right now in some other tanks, so when I get too many of them, I'll just scoop them out and put them in the 60-gallon. So I don't have to worry about get rid of snails, because I got goldfish that will eat them. Now somebody else joined the stream. We'll see who it is here in a minute when it pops up. So yeah, I get to sit at home and be bored today. I got a question for you, William. You say you've got some regular flower horns. What's the max size that a flower horn will get? Because where was it? I saw one. It was also in a tank with an Oscar. Beautiful Oscar, too. And the flower horn was actually bigger than the Oscar. And I was surprised. I didn't think that, flower horns would get bigger than an Oscar, but this one was. It was a little bit bigger, probably about an inch longer than that Oscar, and I think that Oscar was full grown. The Oscar had some beautiful orange in it. It was orange and black. It was just a beautiful Oscar. Got to keep trying to keep myself in the center of the stream here because I'm holding the phone. I might eventually go get the tripod and put the phone on the tripod. But the camera on this phone is in a little bit different position. Oh, they can get about 12 inches. So that flower horn that I saw was not full grown yet. I'm guessing it was probably about 9-10 inches long, approximately. I didn't get a tape measure out. I'm guessing. Oh, you've seen them more than 12 inches, Miles. Wow, that's some big fish. I had a pleco back when I was a teenager that was about 14, 15 inches long, but that's probably the biggest fish I've ever kept. Really depends on the fish. What it's mixed with and how many genes it was. Okay. Yeah. I'll take a donut. So, yeah, this is just a random stream. I think most of my streams are just random. Somebody suggested that I should try breeding angelfish, but right now I don't know. I might try someday, but right now I'm just enjoying having my angelfish. I named him Black Beauty, and it's very pretty, growing really quickly, and I'm enjoying watching it grow. You got one extra. I'm sure that you can eat the extra one, Miles. You're going to be bouncing off the walls now, huh? Well, Miles, can you take any of those long peppers and shove it in there to make a stuffed donut? Not jelly filled, but pepper filled donut. That would be an interesting one. Who wants to eat a pepper donut? I mean, they got hot honey and everything else now. I mean, why not a hot donut? Can't feed the gremlins. Yeah, you don't want them breeding. See, when I look at the phone straight on, it's like this. So I have to tilt the phone off to the side just a little bit because the camera is at the top and off to one side. Dunkin's has a ghost pepper donut. I wonder if it's actually ghost pepper hot, though. I mean, or did they put just a tiny little bit in there just to make it a little bit hot? Miles, I picked up, I was at the grocery store, and they had, it's not sauce, it's a paste, a puree paste, and I picked up some Carolina Reaper paste. It's got some spice to it, but it's still not near close to my death sauce. Now, you haven't tried the Dunkin' Donuts yet. Okay, well, maybe you should. And next time we're on a live stream, let us all know. Hop on to Catfish Terry's live stream or somebody else's and let us know. I'm sure Miles, have you tried, or are you going to try, or do they even have the ghost pepper donut? Tell you what would be really good if they had ghost pepper or Carolina Reaper pepper bacon. Doesn't that sound good? Probably have some of that bacon and make yourself a bacon and egg sandwich with, spicy. Oh, you went to 7-Eleven to get your donuts. Okay. I don't know. Since I work in the hospital and ever since this whole outbreak going on throughout the whole world, that one of the things that I have really had to avoid was restaurants and gas stations and, all those big public places. But unfortunately, one of the things that I can't avoid is sending my kids to school. And so, there's always that risk. And I'm at risk every day at work. I've been around, people that have tested positive and try to keep myself safe and, trying to help them. And it's just part of the risk of the job. But I've been trying not to put myself in extra risk. And at the same time, that if I am coming down with it, that, I have to stay home to make sure that I try to keep the patients of the hospital safe and my fellow coworkers. It's very serious. Some people, it's amazing the difference. Some people can be have very, very light to almost no symptoms, and other people are deathly sick that if they didn't go to the hospital, they would definitely die. And it's very sad to see. I'm not putting out any, propaganda here. That's not my intent. It's just I wanted to say that it's sad to see, and my heart really goes out to those people. He tested positive for peppers. Well, there are some things being tested positive for is not such a bad thing. I may have to go get tested, but right now I'm in a 48-hour leave from work because of this. It's not saying that I do have it. It's not saying that I don't have it. This is the extra precaution that the hospital has to take to try to keep the patients there as safe as possible, and other coworkers. Which I totally understand, and I'm totally agree with it. I don't like missing work, um, but it's something that I have to do. Yeah, William, I'm not sure what state you live in, but I can't speak for the. I have not checked the recent numbers. For a while, I was following it on a daily basis, all the numbers of the state where I live and counties and everything. Um, but I do know that the counties where I work and where I live is two different counties. Um, the numbers are skyrocketing quickly, and so they are taking extra precautions because of this. Yeah. Ooh, good luck, William. Fisher here. Can't wait to see what you get. I don't know if you can still hear me, but I hope shipping and everything to Fisher fine. I really do. Okay, I'm sorry about the shaky video. Unfortunately, I can't use my auto stabilization in StreamYard. And I wish, well, I don't know if I can. Okay, I've got to, I've got to mute this because um, my daughter's watching TV, and if some of it gets broadcast or whatever, they can take down the video. So I don't want to do that. 3 minutes to work. Oh no. No, I'll give it a couple of minutes here. I'm going to head inside, and maybe when Miles gets back, let's try this. We're going to try this again. I don't know. Let's see if I can adjust the angle just a little bit here. Will that work? That's a little better. Oh, man. Yeah, getting fish is always exciting. I've got the multiple tank syndrome, and I'm hoping that the guppies that I get from Jess, that I'm going to spread them out over 2 different tanks, I think, maybe 3. I want to try breeding them, and like I said, my local fish store wants to buy them. I showed them, and they were interested in them. They sell fish so fast there, and I tell you what, that local fish store is such a good fish store. Um, they do a lot for their fish. 2 minutes to go. Are you not inside yet, Miles? And when you start work, you're going to have to leave the stream. Oh no. You were watching TV last night on your stream. No, I don't do that. I don't play those games. I'm not going to play games with YouTube like that. I don't need to get in any kind of trouble, because if I get in trouble, that can affect my job. When it comes to the healthcare system, they're very serious about maintaining uh, how do I want to say this? They want to make sure that their employees aren't doing anything illegal, okay? And because they will terminate people for doing that, and I doubt that would ever get me in trouble with work, but things the best that I can. And a lot of the stuff on TV is not meant to be rebroadcast unless you have permission. So I follow that as much as I can, not to broadcast any of that at all, so that I can try to stay out of trouble as much as I can. Fishyman, how you doing? Well, Fishyman, we're waiting for William. He just got some fish delivered. He said he'd be right back. I'm sure he's attending to those fish right now. And when he gets back, hopefully I can... Oh, it's the Friday 11 o'clock here, 11 a.m. Siren test, so you're going to hear that awful noise. I'm sure my microphone's picking that up real bad. I'm sorry about that. That Fishyman, I was talking about how I got sent home. I wasn't allowed to work today because I experienced some symptoms last night that they put me on a 48-hour leave from work. I work in a hospital as a CST, and they try to create the best possible environment for the patients and the coworkers as possible. So as of right now, they're not saying I do, or they're not saying that I do not have the virus. But as a precaution, I am on leave for 48 hours from work. And if I have no more symptoms, I can return to work. Or if I start having more symptoms, I am to report it. So, no, Fishyman, it is not with pay. I do have some paid time off that can compensate for it, that I think that will probably get put on. But if not, well, I just have to take it as it is. Those stupid sirens. I'm sorry, guys. I think they're finally about done. Yeah, it'd be nice if it was with pay, but I understand. It's one of those things that we have to deal with. Rest and relax. I got to work on my car this weekend anyway, so maybe I'll get some rest today, and I can feel well enough to work on my car tomorrow. I noticed on Wednesday when I went to leave work that one of the brakes started to grind just a little bit. I was like, oh no, very minor. Oh, he's getting a flower horn, a short body flower horn. He called it a bonsai flower horn. So I'm not sure if that's shorter than the normal short body or what it is. So when he gets back, hopefully, we might be able to set up a thing where we can see it, because I'd love to invite him on and have him show it off a little bit. I think that would be fantastic. Oh. I don't have a set time for the stream or anything, but I think when at most I might go for another hour. I know it's Friday. I'm not going to get a whole lot of people on here because people are at work and everything else, but yeah, I figured why not. I looked around. I didn't see anybody else doing any live streams at this point. Father Fish did his live stream this morning. I was just lurking in it and listening. I didn't really chime in or anything. Excuse me. Got a lot of sleep last night, but I still feel tired. I've been feeling tired all week. But then again, I was going a lot of stuff to do at work. It was crazy. I had extra overtime on Wednesday, had extra overtime yesterday. So rough. It was kind of a rough week. So I'm just tired from working. It was a long week. You just woke up. Well, I don't recommend everybody getting up at 4 a.m. to go to work. It's not easy. Man, it is cold here. That's why I got on a nice heavy jacket. And of course, my camera likes to go lighter, darker, lighter, darker. I don't know why. I wish it would just stay at one point, but I can't control it here. Ah, okay. You work the second shift. Yeah. Not the best shift to work either. Miss out on a lot of stuff because you work from 4 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Then again, I miss out on a lot of stuff because I have to go to bed at 7. Well, not 7 o'clock. Between usually around 9 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock. Sometimes I stay up. I've stayed up for a Catfish Terry stream. I've stayed up until 11. I usually regret it the next morning when I get up in 5 hours. It's not as easy as when I was younger, but it is what it is. Have a lot of fun on the streams. But yeah, I'm sure Miles is working now. He was doing a countdown. I got 2 minutes left. Maybe I should have started the stream an hour before I did. Let's see, you're back for a few minutes, William. How the fish doing okay, William? And the other question, William, if I put up a link for you, you want to come up and show off your new fish? I would love to see him if you can. I don't know if you can or not. Paul is definitely here. I say more than half the leaves are gone from the trees around where I live. I want summer back. I want the warmer temperatures. Oh, you can't see the fish. Did they put extra insulation in there that kind of looks like some kind of paper that you just can't see in there? Or I hope it's not because the water's cloudy. You probably don't have another container to transfer them into to see them while you're getting them acclimated, do you? Yeah, you don't like the cold. I've talked to my wife and everything. I said, we should move out to Arizona or something like that, where nice dry heat. I liked Arizona. Went out there for a vacation one year. We stayed at a place just south of Phoenix, Arizona, and went hiking in the desert and everything. It was great. I loved that. It wasn't planned, but when we went out to Arizona, the very first day that we was out there, hold on a second, aggressive fish. Okay, less stress. All right, so they use a bag you can't see through. Okay, I get that. That makes sense. So they don't puncture the bag and transport and everything. Yeah. The first day we was out in Arizona, it rained, and the very next day, all the cacti were in bloom. And oh, hey, Foxy Fishes, how you doing? If you've never seen cacti in bloom, oh, it's one of those rare instances. But it was great because the cacti all had flowers for about 3 days. We were there, and it was beautiful. Roxanne, as my video suggested, I got sent home from work because of symptoms. So, yep. I barely got in the door there, and that was it. I was told to go home. Not allowed to work for 48 hours. Well, let's see. Give me a minute here. Um, uh, well, there are a few symptoms that it's an instant get sent home. Roxanne, I think you know I work in a hospital as a CFT, and I had some diarrhea last night, and that's an instant no where I work. You know, they're just nope, they're not going to take that chance. And so I got sent home, and I'm on 48-hour leave. Uh, I have to be symptom free, so we're going to find out what happens, and we'll just go from there. You know, as I said to everybody else, you know, we take it very seriously in the hospitals. So we want to make sure patients are fine. We want to make sure that all the other employees are fine too. So that's one of the things that there's no leeway on. If you show certain symptoms or multiple symptoms of other things, that you're not allowed to come into the hospital. So there's that. Anyway, give me a minute. I'm going to go up to the computer and I will drop an email link. No, I don't vape inside, so I'm gonna. Ooh, you can see nice clear skies today. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about the feedback. Okay, I think. Okay. All right, I got it. For some reason, it was doing something weird. Let's see here. I'm going to put my email address in here. Okay, there's my email address. All right. Hopefully it was just too much milk. No, unfortunately, I don't think so. I don't know. It could have been just the stress or something. Might have been something I ate. I know, not the best camera angle. Yeah, I know. It was sending me up warnings on my. Like I said, I'm logged in 2 different devices on this stream. I think this camera probably looks better than my other camera. Yeah, definitely looks better. I don't know, the other one looks all washed out for some reason. But I'll also put this out there too. There's the StreamYard link. Well, thank you, William. All right. So I don't know how this will work. I'll give you guys a little bit of a update on some tanks here. There's the green water tank with all the mollies in it. And they are happy and living just fine in it. I don't know if I'll be able to find any of the babies or not, but they like hiding up top. You see there's a lot of frog bit, hornwort, and back down in there's a bunch of moss. I think some are hiding in there too. But yeah, it's still green. Sometimes I can see a baby up here, but I don't think I'm going to be able to see them today. Oh. That's all one. Disappeared. All right, and there it focuses again. Yeah. Hard to tell. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there was a baby Dalmatian swimming over there. Really excited about that. And then my original green water tank, other than some tannins, look how clear it is. Except for the dirt on the glass. Some water spots. You can even see the snail that's on the back glass back there, a horned Nerite. I got some ram horn in here and some other snails. And those just the 3 little minnows that I picked up out of a bait and tackle store. Kind of curious about them. Nothing special, but they are interesting fish. Hornwort, corkscrew valve, and some frog bit and a bunch of duckweed up there. And I forget, I don't think that's a red melon sword. It might be, but there's another one back there you can't hardly see that's a little different. Got some jungle valve growing up, and I forget the name of that right there. Okay, Fishymon, we'll see you later. You have a good day. That driftwood right there, when we moved in to this apartment, it had a little kind of garden out front, and it had some kind of like, I'm assuming it might have been some kind of like rose bush or whatever, but those are the roots from it, and it was nice wood. I boiled and got them to sink, and I put them in this tank, and I think it looks really neat in this tank. Unfortunately, more of it broke off than I wanted to, but yeah, it's just turned upside down. I think it really made an interesting piece for this tank. Those fish are all kind of curious now. Yesterday they were all hiding from me, and now they're like, what's going on? What's going on? Are you going to feed us? They've been fed today, don't worry. And then I just got all kinds of snails in here. I like snails. I don't know why, but I like snails. They're a nice little cleanup crew. I wouldn't say I love them, but I like them. I've not had much luck with mystery snails, but these horned Nerites, got some in another tank. You can kind of see that one there. Got horns off on one side. Oh, check this out. How about a snail with hair? Focus, come on, focus. All the other fish swimming around, it won't focus on it. What if I put my hand there? There, you can see the hair coming off of it. Look at algae. Yeah, it's just green algae. There's a Chinese algae eater. Yep, these are Chinese, not Siamese. Ooh, saltwater snails, awesome. Yeah, I think the rosewood is kind of neat. And then we put the skull in there, and I love how that. Sorry about the glare. I love how that skull looks in this green water. I planted some dwarf hair grass around it, but it's not really growing yet. I don't think the roots have developed enough because of green water, as you can see, that they're not getting enough light either. But I just love the way this little 10-gallon tank turned out. Some people love pristine tanks, but I don't think that looks very natural. I like looking at them. I just don't like the work involved. You dedicated a tank just to snails? Well, if these things keep growing, I don't know if I can show it, whether the camera will pick it up or not. But I've got several, I don't know whether you call them clutches or what. See if I can't find it. Right there, right in front of my finger. Snail eggs. And there's more around. That's one of the bigger ones. I wonder if it'll focus. I know, Foxy, it is. It's so natural and peaceful, and it's just not focusing. Come on. Sorry. It'll focus. There we go. Close kind of good. Yeah, that's some snail eggs. And some baby snails. That guy, I got some smaller ones in here. But they're everywhere. Some of the smallest snails. See the camera pick it up. See that little dot right there? That's a snail. See the difference between my finger and the snail? He's right there on that leaf, right at the end of my finger. I like the mix of, and it's because of that light, not getting a really good view, but I think that is a pond snail. But I've got pond snails, ram's horn, and why can't I think of the name of the other snail? Sorry, I'm not focused on something else. I was looking at the tanks and not the video. Oh, what's the other snail? Well, besides the horned narite snails are in both these tanks, but the horned narites aren't going to breed in these tanks because it's not brackish water. Let's see if I can't find one of those other snails that are in there. Sometimes I think they like to bury sometimes. I'm looking. Not seeing them right now. I saw them all over yesterday, and now I'm not seeing any of them. Like I said, sometimes I think they like to bury themselves, and then they'll come out again. But I even put some moss right there behind the rosewood. Kind of hides a little bit of it, but I was hoping to get it growing a little bit more. And I'm thinking about even taking some shrimp and putting it in this tank. But this is supposed to be kind of my, what do you want to call it? Not really a hospital tank, but just a quarantine tank for fish. And I keep those other fish in there just to help keep the ecosystem going, as a bio load to the plants and everything. Yeah, I would figure when I want to find a snail, I can't find it. I find all the others. I've got a big ram's horn snail in this tank. Oh, there's another horned nerite, the other view. You can kind of see his horns. From my local fish store, they ordered them in for me, and then they ordered some more to see what would happen. Started selling those out. Now they're starting to order more in. They're like, these things are selling as fast as we order them in. So they like that. I'll be right back. Okay, I thought of the name. It's some part of the name. It's some kind of cone snail, but it's not called a cone because that is part of the saltwater variety that is poisonous. But it's a little different. It's a freshwater and it's not poisonous. I still can't find any of them. What's going on? I don't see any up here either. I see lots of snails. But there's just another common snail that's really, really cheap to buy. But the purple mystery and the rabbit snails. Yeah, I saw some rabbit snails, and I thought about getting them, but I haven't done that yet. But most of them, except for the nerites, are just cheap snails. My horned nerites. All the rest of them are just common cheap snails. But I like the way the ram's horn snails, when they get big, I like the way they look. And they breed so fast. And they like eating the dead plant matter too. And the extra fish food that falls to the bottom that never gets ate. But these fish are pretty good about keeping all that ate up. Except for on days where they get spooked. Then they won't go looking for food. It's interesting. They will hide for a couple of days if something happens and they get spooked. But right now, they're all over the place. They're looking for food. But they'll hide in the corner for days. When something happens, they won't even come out for food. But yeah, my snails, they're just for fun. These mollies, very active fish. But guys, I think it's probably about time for me to wrap it up. So I don't know. I might later on today, depending on what happens, what's going on, I might actually make a live stream that's more in the afternoon around 5 or 6 o'clock for me. It's 11:36 right now. So if nothing else is going on, I might jump on here. And if you get a chance, I'd like to see you come on the stream. I'd like to see Catfish Terry sometime jump onto one of my streams. I think that'd be awesome. That'd be nice. Get him invited up here. But I want to thank you, Miles. We also had William Pridemore. We had Foxy Fishes. We had Fishymon. All come on to chat, and I appreciate every one of you. So, and Roxanne, if you didn't see, I think it's still up there where you can go up there, and I have my email posted if you want it for anything. And yeah, I hope I get feeling better, and I hope everybody else stays safe and stays well too. I appreciate all of you, coming out here and just chatting and hanging with me for a little bit. So, everybody, you have a good day and stay safe. Thanks.